The province tracks every single case, and so far not one has been linked to those recent protests. So why is that? Well, the credit goes to a combination of things, according to the provincial health officer. They were outside for short periods of time for one, and most kept their distance and wore a mask. Now, it's interesting to note how protest settings here have differed from beach settings in parts of the U.S., where parties have resumed and case counts have gone up.
When you're partying, dancing, laughing, kissing, hugging, those are the situations that you're much more likely to spread droplets between people. So there's something inherently different about what you're doing with a group of people partying on a beach versus what we've been seeing with some of these protests. And that was surprising.
Now, Dr. Bonnie Henry says it goes back to the 3 C's of transmission: being in close contact for a continuous time in a closed environment. As she adds, 15 minutes is the general time threshold for the virus to take hold between people in close quarters, and that's why it's highly unlikely that you'd contract the virus from someone, say, running beside you on the seawall.
All right, so Tanya, so no cases connected to the recent protests here. What about connected to Americans traveling here? We've been hearing quite a bit of concern from British Columbians about that.
No, none of those either, at least that Dr. Henry is aware of. So you'll know that there have been anecdotes of some Americans, skirting the rules, perhaps finding loopholes in the system by getting through the border, saying they need to drive to Alaska, for example. But Dr. Henry says there's been no evidence of the virus being transmitted from any of those situations, which are minimal. Still, with the worsening situation stateside, yes, she doesn't see the Canada-U.S. border opening to what she calls vacation travel at any point this summer, given the widespread transmission of the virus there. And Health Minister Adrian Dix agrees.
It's important to remember it's not just the issue of people visiting Canada, it's Canadians visiting the United States that would be not possible at this point. Many of the places we would visit, Washington and Oregon, are obvious, but also Arizona and Nevada and California. These are states where Canadians and British Columbians visit frequently. And clearly the trend line is entirely in the opposite direction.
And he adds it's critical for our whole continent, not just the U.S., but Mexico too, to start seeing positive trends as part of these discussions about loosening border restrictions continue. Mike Leah.
All right, Tanya Fletcher reporting live tonight. Thanks.